Good morning, namaste. And I just initially like to thank you for taking the time to be here. And I don't expect you to get anything from it, and I'm not expecting you to get anything from it either. But I'm going to take a few weeks off just to let these many videos that have engulfed you, those who watch over the past few weeks, to sink in. Not to have an effect on you or to convince you or change you or try and get you to look at the things that has personally been experienced by this, whatever I am, just to find a space, you see. Because the truth is in the space, the truth is between the thoughts, the truth is between the breaths. While the breath is operating, not at the end of the last breath. The space between the breaths, the space between the thoughts, the space between you and I, the space between the rock and your hand. We are not speaking about the qualities of the space, the names that we give it, the atmosphere, the oxygen, the carbohydrates, the hydrogen, whatever it is that we call it. We're speaking about the moment before interaction, the moment before thought, the moment after thought, the moment before breath, the moment breath changes to move outwards, that moment before it comes inwards, the moment before the light switch is neither on nor off. We call it physical space, but it's not physical space. It's the space of conscious love. It's a moment in a Sistine Chapel when the two fingers, just before the two fingers meet. The moment before the ejaculation. That moment that everything becomes truly alive, truly living. So use the space wisely. I don't know. I keep saying I'm not coming back, but I don't know. It's life. It's in the destiny of life. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen in the next moment of time. So we'll leave it open. Leave it an open book, because that's your life, an open book. Don't close the book at any point. But don't take the book serious. Don't try and enhance the book. Just write the truth, the genuinity of what you experience, without relying on others to enhance it or reduce it. And that's what this leads me to, fortunately. It's like sometimes, you've no intentions of speaking about something, and sometimes you have, but you go off track, and then all of a sudden you're on it, and it's not planned or organized. It's an incredible force, the spirit, when it wants to speak openly and not direct and control and manipulate and pretend it's anything other than what it is. A beautiful spirit of love. Now I forgot, you see. The spirit saying, get on with it. You're wasting that time. One of the things that I knew when I was young, I like to be alone. Not because I didn't like people, I just found some sort of solace, some sort of contentment, harmony within myself when I played with my soldiers or walked on the hills on my own. And I knew then that something deep down inside was going to take place. So the trust was built in then. But like most, you have to go through life. You have to stand up against the pitfalls, the hurdles, the boundaries. You have to change direction. move away, go into. All that stuff that we do every day without thinking about it. It's when we think about it that's the problem. It's when we measure it and analyze it and give it quality and have preferences and compete against it that's the problem, you see. We think there's a goal, an aim. We think there's something at the end of the path. We think God is going to be up there when we die. We think it's going to be beautiful and we're going to get a beautiful pat on the head and say, well done, let's go into the kingdom of heaven. But that's happening every moment, you see. But you just don't see it. In every space, there's someone patting you on the head. Every space between the thoughts, there's someone saying, well done, keep going. Every space between the breaths, someone is saying, yeah, give him another one. It's doing okay. Well done. Keep going. But in this keep going, you must be patient. You must be patient. Because what's guaranteed within this life is a one-to-one. A one-to-one with you and yourself. A one-to-one with you and spirit. Same thing. A one-to-one with you and God. Same thing. A one-to-one with you and consciousness. Same thing. We just give it names to think it's different things. And this one-to-one is taking place every moment, but you're just away from it. And even when you intentionally say, okay, I'm going to stop doing things, I'm going to stop thinking, I'm going to wait for this one-to-one, you're going to expect an immediate result. And if you don't, rubbish. Not good enough. It's not for me. I'm just going to have to dig holes and dig holes and dig holes till the day I die and keep my fingers crossed and hope. And all of this story is looking away from that what is operating your system. That genuine being, that spirit that is operating your system, that is in the central nervous system at the bottom of the spine, this umbilical cord from this belly button internally is tugging at you every day. You often get that stomach and gut feeling, I should be doing this. Don't do what it is that you should be doing. Just put your attention on the tugging. Say, what's going on? What are you doing? What are you trying to tell me? And it's in the tugging that the answer, that fluttering of the belly. Because it's not going to tell you anything. It's just going to say, I'm here. And you say, wow, actually, I don't feel alone anymore. Be patient. But it's okay to be impatient. You see, I was patient till 52 years old. And it wasn't happening. I thought maybe I was fooling myself. I thought maybe when I was young I was just a kid that didn't find a mind that was interactive enough with other people. I felt I had done it wrong. Should I be going back into my childhood and reliving my life and pretending I was something other than what I was, like the rest of the kids that I eventually did? So at 52 I became impatient. I said, what's going on? Why are you not speaking? Why is there nothing here that can tell me anything other than what is taking place? Is this it? Is this it? I don't even know who I am. I don't even know what I am. And it was in the impatience that I was scolded through enlightenment. Scolded with enlightenment. 7 years of absolute bliss state. 7 years of incredible joy. A punishment for asking too soon. It may appear as if it's a good punishment, but it's 7 years, even 9, before it pulls away and says, okay, now was the time, you see. When you were 60, 62, that was when I had planned to meet you, but you were impatient. The meeting for most is a genuine meeting with no joy and bliss, with no pain and suffering. It's just that father sitting you down, that grandfather, and saying, now, you're such a good boy. You are such a good boy, such a good girl. You don't even need a hug, a kiss. You just want someone to say, you're doing okay. And that's what Spirit does. Keep going. Everything's okay. Everything's fine. And you transmit these words, you project these words openly on YouTube, and you get a reaction of, how the hell does he think everything's okay? There's a war in Ukraine. There's a pandemic. There's all this stuff going on. You're not saying everything is okay with other people's lives. You're saying everything is okay in your life. You have no position. You don't need to teach or guide or inform or control or share with the object of, you must try it. Spirit is waiting for you. It's yourself. Don't give it frills. Don't give it Christ auras and stuff. It is something far more simple, far more basic. We look for the complexities in life, and we dramatize, we storytell an enlightened being. If you look back at my original videos 5-6 years ago, it's like something is glorified. And I apologize for that, because that's the wrong thing to do. The right thing to do is to say, you know what? Be patient, be quiet, be still. Keep going. Be focused, be present. The space is the present moment. The breath appears to be in the present moment. The out-breath appears to be in the present moment. But as soon as they come, the in-breath, it's past. As soon as the out-breath comes, it's past. But the present moment, the space, never passes. The thought, the space between the thought, never passes. In deep sleep, when no thinking or dreaming is taking place, it's that constant space. But don't measure it against deep sleep, because in deep sleep, there's no activity. The mind has gone to sleep. So there's nothing that can experience it. When you're awake, in your body state, fully alive, fully operating, and you sit into that space, then you see it. And I want to leave you with that for the time being. Your one-to-one is guaranteed. It's happening every moment. You don't want some special enlightened moment, because you're going to experience 7 years of out of this world experiences, out of body experiences, out of this universal experiences. And it's great. But so what? You still sit, you still eat, you still urinate, you still participate, you still work, you still laugh, you still smile, you still do all the things that ego has created. You still get angry at the war at Ukraine, you still get untrustworthy about vaccines and where the virus comes, and all that stuff still exists, you know. And it's important to recognize that everything exists as one whole intent. But within the core of the intent, within that center point, there's that space. There's the truth of the Absolute. Go meet your Father, your Spirit, whatever you want to call it, your consciousness, yourself. But don't try and enforce the meeting too quick, unless you want some sort of enlightened impact, ultimate experience. Just live this experience. Let it flow. Let it unfold. And you'll be there. Not in every moment. It's impossible. Even Christ couldn't do it in every moment. Even Christ could not remain presence. Even Christ could not remain aware of that inner being. Of Christ could not even maintain the loyalty to his Father every moment of every day. Because it's not Christ's decision. It's the one that you are here to serve's decision. So I'll see you soon. Maybe I'll start uploading again if life says it's okay, maybe not. But you take these videos and you can do with them what you want. It's okay. There's nothing here to be ashamed or worshipped or embarrassed. I'm so happy to be alive, and that's the truth. I hope you are too. I hope you do well. I wish you well. I love you. Good luck in your being.